The following announcement has been paid for by the WZWA Network.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the WZWA Network, and welcome to my review show here of NXT Vengeance Day 2023 from the Spectrum Center in Charlotte, North Carolina, from just a couple of days ago. Yes, the review is late again, but I've been busy. I've had work. I went to a concert last night, so I could not watch the show yesterday during the day. So I watched it tonight and I'm reviewing it now. It's a little late and I don't care. Okay. It's just NXT. It's not a big deal. So anyway, let's start things off here. By the way, I'm Karlifornia. I forgot to introduce myself, but I figured by now, if you've clicked on this fucking video, you've probably clicked on it because you know who I am by now. So no one who doesn't know me is clicking on my NXT review. Okay. Okay. So they seriously do a pre-show panel for NXT at the moment. Apparently they did a pre-show panel. I still don't understand the point of the panels. It's not real. You have people standing there with pens in their hand, analyzing the situation like it's just funny to me. They try to make it seem like it's not. We know it's not. You don't need analysts to analyze something. It's like having an analyst, pre-show panel for like a TV show, a soap opera. That's what wrestling is. It's supposed to be. I thought the intro to the show was a little strange with Charlotte. I don't know what the reasoning was for someone from the main roster doing this. And if you saw the intro to the show, Charlotte's on the microphone. She's talking about this matchup taking place, and one of the people from the match comes out, and then the other person from the match comes out, and they both like do a little stare down. And I just thought it was weird, and I hope you'll see what I mean when I'm talking about NXT being so contrived and overproduced. It's spectacular. It looks great, but it's spectacular for mostly the wrong reasons. And again, that real weak opening of the show where the voiceover guy goes, "Welcome to NXT Vengeance Day." Like, whose idea was that? Don't you prefer Jim Ross like yelling at the top of his lungs at the start of the show? Like, let's get people pumped up. And Charlotte mentioned that New Day are the greatest tag team in WWE history. I like them, but they're not even in the top 10. I mean, if I had time and I compiled a list, which I don't do because only hacks and hack YouTube channels do lists all the freaking time. Hack websites. Lists are shit. It is like the lowest form of content creation you can make. Like, it's just your fucking opinion, man. And this review is my opinion. But I'm not going to make a list of anything ever on this channel because it's shit. I'm surprised they managed to fill the building. What the hell, man? Apparently they nearly sold it out. They only had 414 tickets that weren't sold. Nuts. Did not see that coming because I thought, I don't know if they're going to be able to, but maybe NXT is more popular than I thought. Okay, let's get into it. North American Championship opens the show. Wes Lee, the champion, takes on Dijak, who used to be on the main roster in that Retribution group. What was he called again? Sorry, I should know this shit. If people are going to care about my opinion on wrestling, then I should know this stuff. He used to be known as something else, right? T-Bar, that's it. Okay, no wonder they changed his name. T-Bar's a kind of a bit of a shit name. But anyway, Wes Lee, the new North American champion, taking on Dijak. I think Wes is the perfect example of a wrestler I will always straight away hate. I didn't mind the tag team that he was in before. They were a little bit cheesy with the gimmick, but I don't like baby faces like this, especially when I saw him making his entrance. I think the Sin City thing is cool for Dijak. I dig it. And I honestly, of course, I would, but and I said to here, I would give him the belt because I hate baby faces. The Death Valley driver on the outside early on in the proceedings from Dijak was fantastic. A bit of a slow start, not really a slow start, but just the typical kind of start to a match here. I see that the show ahead of time is 3 hours long, so it just annoys me that they can't fit in 2 to 3 more matches. Just so we can see people like Tiffany Stratton, I've become a fan of. Miko Satomura, I don't know if she's injured, but she hasn't been seen since she beat Roxanne Perez last September. Fuck, man. Like, why can't you find anything for her? Isla Dawn, who just came out, red hot with that feud with that Alba Fire. And I really have the horn for Isla because she looks like Cagney than Carter. Speaking of having the horn, Cora Jade is not on the card either. No TA Fokadoo Tone. I know he made an appearance, but still. No Drew Gulak, even though they did like a little package backstage. No Joe Gacy. There's people that you could put on the card. You have 2 NXT shows with NXT and Level Up. Surely you can create 3 more angles going into your PLEs. And not even every match needs an angle, A match could be for contendership, whatever. I don't know. Anyway, let's get on with the match. Dijak sending Wesley to the outside where he just threw him. That was fantastic. I still just like Wesley's name. Because to me, it's Wesley. Wesley's a name. Wesley is... No, it just doesn't work. Think of something else. A nice first dive of the show from Wesley. Wes going back into the ring with the acrobatics was really annoying though, but then he managed to hit a poison rana. Then he hit a sit-out snowplow, which was good. But then after that, see, this is the thing. Wes does some things that I think, oh, that was great. And then he'll do something that annoys me. And I'm sorry that I'm the bitter fan that doesn't like all the flip, flop, and fly, but him springboarding back off the ropes toward an opponent all the way back there, it's just stupid. No one would do that in a fight, okay? I understand no one would do an Irish whip in a fight either, or hit someone's head into a turnbuckle and that person would actually go down and hit their face into the turnbuckle. I get it, all right? But there are things like that that make less sense. Great sit-down chokeslam for the 2 count there from Dijak. They're doing good with the near falls, but I really felt it was obvious Wes was retaining. And this went too long for my taste. I don't think we needed 12 near falls. I get it, man. You're on the pay-per-view or the PLA, and you want to show what you can do. I understand. Let's have a look at how long the match went for, okay? 17 minutes. Fuck. Oh, we'll leave that there, and I'll come back to it each time there's a match. 17 minutes is a long time. Like, okay, all right. I mean, it's a title match, not a big deal. So the reversal of the powerbomb by Wes into the Hurricane Rana off the top rope was so dangerous. Dijak nearly broke his neck. You don't need to go to those lengths. I get it. I really hope they don't do this stuff hoping Meltzer gives a shit. Dijak still kicks out of that insane move off the top rope. And then didn't Wes hit like another maneuver off the top rope, like a splash or something? Oh, the spinny flippy thing. Yeah, whatever it was. It's like a whatever the thing AJ used to do. I can't remember the name of the move. Spiral tap. There we go. And he kicked out of it. And I just said, it's just too much. This is the kind of stuff that I give AEW shit for. And of course, there was a "This is awesome" chant because now fans have been trained into thinking that this is what a good match needs. A good match needs people kicking out of every fucking thing that can ever fucking happen. Like, don't get me wrong, it's fantastic. I just think it's a little much because what are you gonna do next time? What needs to be done to get a fucking pinfall victory in wrestling sometimes? So Wes gets put into a chair. I hated the finish. The match was actually pretty good despite my whinging and complaining. I hated the finish. So Carmelo hates. Wes Lee is put into a chair with like a computer chair, and he's trapped in there because they have a broom from the 1940s at ringside. Dijak sticks it where the arm bits are, so now he's stuck, even though he could just grab the broom and throw it out like that. Anyway, I don't know what was happening, but then Dijak went to the top rope and he was going to do a moonsault or something onto the chair, onto him sitting on the chair. I don't know. Tony D and his boy rock up. They move. I don't know what the hell was going on. They pushed the guy out the way. They pushed Wes out the way, roll him out the way, and then they kind of get hit with the move by Dijak off the top rope. I'm guessing that they're working together going forward. Hated the finish. After that, Wes got the pinfall. I hated that finish. Like, okay, you want to have an angle going forward with, hey, Theo, you fucking do tone and Dijak, but I don't know. I would have done something else. And I'm not thinking of anything off the top of my head because I need to eat dinner soon. I'm hungry. There's a Cora hype video. Yeah, baby. I love the part where she fucked up Wendy Chu. Hate Wendy Chu, man. Sure, she's a lovely person. Hate the character. Fucking hate Wendy Chu, man. I fucking hate Wendy Chu. It's just so annoying, man. Okay, all right. Grayson arrives to the building. And so does Bron. Oh, wow, what do you know? Bron isn't walking into the building like a fucking Mizark with his title on his shoulder. I'm glad that they have stopped doing that. I know that they're going to keep doing it in future. I'm sure it was a once-off. But I hate seeing people walking around. No one does that, trust me. In real life, no one would do that. They would cop so much shit for being a mark for the belt. Next, they showed like there's an NXT watch party going on with other people on the roster. I popped for the fact Tiffany Stratton was sitting nowhere near anyone else on her phone. She is such a prissy little bitch. I love it. Great character. Mackenzie Mitchell interview with Carter and Chance. What an absolute waste of time that did not add to anything. Sorry. Hate being negative. Pointless. Just it's like it was who cares verbiage. That's the first time I've ever used that phrase. Just made it up then. Who cares verbiage? You just wasted oxygen and time. NXT Women's Tag Team titles. Carter and Chance defend against Fallon Henley and Kiana James. So I'm guessing Fallon and Kiana are the main squeezers of Brooks and Jensen because, they spent all that time looking for girlfriends as their main storyline for like, I don't know how many months, but that's cool. I had no problem with the angle. I thought that was cool. And they've been put together with these two ladies who seem determined and, have promise. Again, I hate Carter and Chance's theme song and entrance. Ooh, ooh. No. And I hate all the smiling. I hate baby faces, man. I'm sorry. They are a tight unit. I'll give them credit. They have worked hard to become a solid tag team, Chance and Carter. They still have a little ways to go, but I think they've done well. And as many reps as possible, they will end up being at their ultimate destination they're looking for, I'm sure. I thought the match was a little boring and lacking in heat, though. And some moves that they do are just unrealistic. Like, okay. So, look, I can't remember who's Carter, who's Chance sometimes, but okay. So, what are their names? Fallon Henley and see, this is a problem. Like, these names are so similar and they're so bland and fucking boring and just normal person's names. It's hard to remember them. They're not memorable. Sorry, I got mad then for a second. And I can't, after all the, like a year and a half of watching NXT, I still don't know who Karter and who Chance is. That's the problem. Like the other day, we were trying on the network here, we're trying to do impressions of like current day WWE people as we were playing WWE Empire on Wrestling Empire, the mod. And like every time it was someone's turn to talk, like I didn't even know how to do their voice because everyone is so fucking similar. Like back in the day, oh, get over it, back in the fuck up, man. All right, let's get through this fucking thing. So yeah, anyway, Karter or Chance is running around the ring, turns the corner, and the other one, Karter or Chance, does like a gives him a bit of a boost as they jump up and do a crossbody onto Fallon, Henley, and Kiana James. That would never happen in real life. Don't do dumb shit. It's God, like, what are the odds? What are the odds that the tag team that she's going to do that to were going to be standing right there and they didn't powder this to the side? What are the chances that your tag partner knew exactly what it was that you were going to do as you ran without giving any sort of verbal signal about what you were going to do? Because it was all in the match plan. Sorry to be like negative and pick on people, but like, I just hate that kind of thing. Anyway, they did that stupid thing that Private Party do in AEW where, you know, one person goes over the top rope, then the other one like pushes them back in. But they did it way better than Private Party. It's true. Karter and Chance need to maybe just do like a few double T moves that aren't like so complicated. Why does everything have to be like so intricate and complicated? Just do a double suplex, a double bulldog. You know, you got heaps of double T moves, but have a few simple ones, you know? And then I felt like this match didn't need this much time as well. Let's see how much time it was given. Okay, it was only given 9 minutes and 20 seconds, which is probably, that's okay. I don't know. It felt like it went longer, and that's not a knock. It wasn't that bad. But here's my other problems with it. I don't know why people want long matches for, but you know, the elevated Hurricane Rana off the top rope. Why don't Karter or Chance had one of the ladies on their shoulders on the second rope, and they got Hurricane Rana'd off, and they kicked out. Anyway, to my surprise, because I thought this was a foregone conclusion, because you know, I didn't think Dijak was going to win the first match, but I was definitely sure that the tag team champions weren't going to lose the belts here. But they switched the belts to Fallon, Henley, and Kiana James. I'm getting there. And it was a cool finish and funny to see the heels win the titles. Hopefully, they can make them match a little bit more. Really not big on thrown together teams, but I get there's a storyline here, so it's cool. All right, let's move forward. I skipped the JD McDonough package, but I stopped to watch the Nikita Lyons promo. Thank you. Lyra Valkyra, is that her name? She cuts a promo. Nothing really to declare there. Okay, let's get to the next matchup. 2 out of 3 falls. Carmelo Hayes with Trick Williams at ringside takes on Apollo Crews. I'm really negative tonight. I'm sorry. There's a package on Apollo Crews and Carmelo Hayes' feud, right? They show footage of Apollo Crews in front of roaring crowds, and nobody ever reacted to him like that, ever. So I'm looking forward to this gymnastics routine I wrote here. See, I walked into this wanting, I was hate watching it. I was hate watching. Fuck you. Whoever came up with the hate watching thing, shut up. Having a bad mood today. So the crowd were going for Mello throughout this because Crews is so boring. I'm sorry. Again, I'll say it again. The gimmick he was doing where he was going to his like African heritage was so much more interesting than this. It was the only time I ever cared about Apollo Crews. I'm sorry. He's a great wrestler, but he's just so fucking boring. Moonsault off the ring apron onto Melo, who was laying down. Wasn't worth it, Apollo. Wasn't worth hurting your knees on it. Crowd didn't care. And again, it's not your fault, man. Like, you're doing some great stuff. But I feel like the fans get burned out on all this kind of shit happening all the time. So when it happens, it doesn't really mean anything. Carmelo Hayes gets fall number 1, and I felt very uninterested. I'm sorry. This is why the review is late, because I held off on it because I knew that this show would kind of bore me. I'm sorry. It did pick up toward the end, though. Cruz did shake Melo's kick off because, Melo kicked him in the face, according to our commentary team. The reason why Cruz shook off that kick was because he missed him by a fucking mile, bro. Commander Aziz makes his return. I'm not calling him the other name, whatever it was. Commander Aziz comes back to help his boy Apollo. But then Hayes manages to get the win. He goes 2-0, beating Apollo Crews, despite Aziz getting involved. But then I had a little hunch. And Aziz turns on Apollo Crews after the match. That was the best part of the whole match. Aziz, baby. Brooks, Jensen, and the tag champs backstage. More time wasting. More pointless drivel. We're going to go party now because the girls are the tag champs. Cool. Okay, 4-way tag team title match. The New Day defending the NXT tag team titles here against Chase U, which is Duke Hudson and Andre Chase. Pretty Deadly, and of course, GALLUS. I thought from the outset, give the belts to Chase U. And I thought that the chick with Chase U, I got to remember people's names though. I really need to. Oh, by the way, Carmelo Hayes and Apollo Crews went 23 minutes and 31 seconds. Way too long. Way too long. Thea Hale is the chick that's at ringside with Chase U. She was very funny, screaming the whole time. She was just making me laugh because of the incessant school spirit. I'm kind of sick of female ring announcers, to be honest. They're just a little soft on the announcing sometimes. There just seems to be, I don't know. It seems as though there's more of them than there are the guys. But even the guys are pretty soft. Like, I don't know. Long gone are the days of the Chimmel and the Finkel and, Dave Penz is still an Impact, so that's all right. I think Pretty Deadly are stupid. Andre Chase doing 2 styles of atomic drops popped the shit out of me. Aren't New Day seriously getting bored of doing the same shit for so long? I'd be really bored by now. I think Kofi, and I can't believe I'm giving him feedback on his ring work. It's so rich coming from some mark in Australia, but you need to work on your jumping clothesline, man. You jump right up in the air. I get it. It's showing off your vertical leap. I get it. But from the Rumble to this show here, I'd say the last 3 or 4 of those clotheslines I've seen you hit, they look stupid, man. Like by the time you actually hit the guy's just stopped in his tracks waiting for you to hit the clothesline. Like, you need a little bit of forward momentum as you jump up, bro. Like, you can't just jump up in the air and then come down. Anyway, Andre Chase was popping me because he hits a massive superplex on one of the Pretty Deadly guys to the outside onto a group of people. And I was like, come on, you got to give it to Chase. They've never given him anything. He just gets funny little side storylines here, but he's never done anything where he can sink his teeth into. It got more interesting as this broke down and stopped being tag format. Like, I'll be honest with you. Like, I know people are very pedantic about it's got to be tags and all that shit, but, I like the fact that this just broke down and the referee lost control. I was really going for Andre. I think he is a pop and a half. But, you know, as he was trying to get that victory, I thought to myself, geez, it's been a long time since that superplex. Where are the other teams, for Christ's sake? It was way too long. They're just laying down at ringside waiting for their spot. I get it. I just thought that they were going for too long. Anyway, Gallus ended up becoming the tag team champions. Xavier Woods does take the pin, which I think was, you know, the right thing to do. And I had a feeling that Gallus would scoop them up because they're more of, I guess, a legit heel team. And I believe they're former NXT tag champions. So there you go. There you have it. And the next bit, I thought this was interesting, right? There was a little bit of investigative journalism by Mackenzie Mitchell. What do you know? A backstage interviewer actually being utilized as a journalist. That's what their job will be, right? This is what it was like back in the day. Michael Cole, Kevin Kelly, the coach, they'd be running around trying to get the scoop on what's going on during the show instead of just standing there and asking a question like, how do you think your match is going to go tonight? And then the person walks off, and then again, they just go, this is what they're supposed to do. You're supposed to make them as legit as any character on the show. Do you all remember when Michael Cole be running around backstage trying to get the scoop, or Kevin Kelly desperate to find out the scoop and what's going on? That was how you wrote those parts. Anyway, this was really interesting because Nikita Lyons was injured in the parking lot, right? I thought this was funny because it's just like, okay, like they got the spotlight and this person's doing this person was here doing that. And I was like, how many fucking people were in the parking lot at the same time? What are the odds? It's just so we don't know who the attacker was. In such a very well-lit parking lot, no one saw a thing. And there was so many people there, and no one saw who attacked Nikita Lyons. Hilarious. Anyway, we're getting very close to the end here, everyone. NXT Women's Championship, Roxanne Perez taking on Gigi Dolin and Jacy Jane of Toxic, my favorite. In the promo video, I thought to myself, this is funny. Well, one of the things that Roxanne Perez said was, I've worked towards this my entire life. And I'm like, mate, you've barely even been alive. You're so young. Like, she's 21 and she's already like an NXT champion. And I'm 36 years old. I live all the way here in Australia, and I can't even get 100 views on a review. It's funny seeing how some people succeed so early on in life, and then you're still kind of like just fucking grinding for fucking years and years and years trying to succeed at something. Anyway, it's still such bullshit that Mandy is not there anymore. Mandy Rose should still be there. And just through that promo video, I'm just like, see, heels are more entertaining and more interesting than the baby faces that they're right for, thus becoming more likable. If anyone backstage ever sees this, you got to get all together. It's across the board, Raw, SmackDown, NXT. You've got to get together and really sink your teeth into some discussion, some brainstorming about how can we make our baby faces more interesting and likable and cool and just badass, you know? Have them have layers. Wes Lee has 0 layers for me. All right. I don't really like Carmelo Hayes either, but I find him more interesting than Apollo Crews. Your baby faces are such fucking baby powder up the ass crack, fucking boring potato soup baby faces. Every time. You've forgotten how to have a baby face, a top baby face. Anyway, Gigi is a 10, bro. She's a 10. She's so fine. Roxanne smiling and all that before the match. It's a very serious situation, but she's smiling. I get it, but it annoys me. You know, she's holding up the belt. She's been ring announced, you know. And I'm like, why wouldn't Toxic Attraction just jump her then and there? She's got her back to them. She's smiling. They would have so nailed her during that. There is no way they would let her just stand there with her back to them and not fucking clock her. This is what these women are like. Anyway. So I don't actually believe Roxanne can get through this situation. It's 2-on-1, and I'm like, let's see how the story of the match goes. The first miscommunication with Gigi and Jacy takes place. I did laugh at her saying, work with me, as things were breaking down, and they shook hands. And then as Roxanne Perez was coming in with a baseball slide, Gigi pulled Jacy in the way. Awesome. But we knew the story of the match was going to happen like this. It was obvious. But I hope the team is not broken up after this. Double super kick and the double headbutt into a double pin was a cool little spot. Pop rocks on Gigi on the outside was pretty rough. I kind of wanted Roxanne to lose, but I know she's gonna keep the belt for a while, I think. And I know she will likely drop the belt like I dropped my pants for Cora Jade. Why did I write that for? That's just asking to get in trouble, but whatever. I would. If she asked me to, I would. Don't care. Yeah, even if it was in public. Anyway, Gigi takes the table bump, and then there's a wicked super pop rocks for a sick finish. Look, I didn't write many notes here because I was actually enjoying the story of the match. And I was probably invested because Gigi's in the match. But still, I felt in my heart of hearts that it was match of the show so far. And I like the packages that they're using on these characters between matches. We need more and more and more of them. But again, yes, good work to the ladies in the title match. Next up, the main event, cage match. It's Grayson Waller challenging Bron Breakker for the NXT Championship. First note, what the fuck was Grayson wearing on his head backstage? What was that? It wasn't like the headdress that Scott Steiner used to wear. It was like even more. And then he just, as soon as he got out there, he chucked it off. Like, I bet someone said, no, we want you to wear this, Grayson, and he hates it. Anyway, I want to see Bron vulnerable and struggling with somebody for once. But again, this was like another, like 3 months into Bron Breakker's title reign, I saw some dickhead complaining that it was already getting boring. No, it wasn't. Now I'm starting to be like, all right, it's been like a year and a bit now. Like, come on. We need something exciting. We need him to face like a formidable force. Like, you want to see him against like a Brock Lesnar. Not actually Brock Lesnar, but someone like him. Like, imagine Brian Cage came in from AEW and all of a sudden Bron Breakker's got this massive fucking guy to work against. That would be cool. Anyway, Bron is so quick and explosive. He's very impressive, though. He has only had 63 matches in his career. Can anyone actually understand how difficult it is to be that good at something with only 63 reps of it? Like, I'm sure he does a lot of training and all that, but that's a lot of natural fucking talent. Some people have to work so hard to get good at it. Look how long it took Mark Henry to really get good at working in the ring. Like, years for him to finally get it. But Bron, straight away. I did find it funny when Grayson was barking like a wimpy dog. That was funny. Bron, seriously, be careful with those shoulder block takedowns on your comeback. They look like something John Cena used to do. I think it could hurt in the long run. I like when Grayson baited Bron in and moved out the way. Good stuff as Bron smashed into the cage. The flipping unprettier, that was insane, dude. That was insane. I saw someone online say that Grayson Waller needs to change his attire or he will never be a main event guy. What say you fans? Please, in the comments, let me know what you think about Grayson Waller's attire and if he needs to change it for something else. I don't know. I think it's different and stands out. Grayson cops it on Bron's comeback right into the cage. He hits another one of those stupid rolling and jumping stunners by running off and then rolling back. I don't know the point. Just hit a stunner. Massive superplex from, the top of the cage. That was crazy. And then Waller is convincingly destroyed with the spear. So annoying that we definitely have another person just using the fucking spear as a finisher. He's not going to have that press power slam anymore, I suppose, which is a shame. I really wish they would just, there's enough people doing the spear. Okay. There we have it, everyone. Bron Breakker retains, and that is the end of NXT Vengeance Day 2023. If I was good to give this a rating out of 10, I'm going to give it a 6.5. I think it wasn't bad, but it wasn't amazing either. You know, it was just kind of like I needed to see the people I'm more invested in to really get into the matches. So I'm invested in Breakker. I'm invested in Waller. You know, I'm invested in anything Toxic Attraction do. I did like what they were doing in the tag team title match. The other stuff wasn't really too blown away by. But there we have it. Thank you all for joining me here on the WZWA Network for my review show here of NXT Vengeance Day 2023. Please check us out on Pro Wrestling Tees under our merch store, Thunder Mifflin. Also go to the Ryzen Network, RIZON.net, and go to a chat room in there called #Pro Wrestling. There was a great community of guys and gals in there to talk to about wrestling at all times of the day and night. Once again, I'm Karlifornia. This is the WZWA Network, and we will see you down the road. Thank you.
Network, that's the way we like. Good God Almighty. Network, that's the way we like. Get puppies. Network, that's the way we like. Get.
The following announcement has been paid for by the WZWA Network.